Okay, so in part one I was just talking about my university experience until about the middle of second year. So I'll just carry on. Like I said, the lady in the office had said to me that it was going to be a lot of effort and a lot of paperwork and all that if I wanted to change from one module to another. So she discouraged me, and I just kind of like, I don't know these things. I just thought, oh wow, it sounds like it's going to be a pain. She's told me it's going to be a pain, so I'll just trust her and I'll stick at it. And like I said, because I was hating that so much, I was constantly looking for something else to do with my time so that I enjoyed my time at university, because I was just hating it. It was stressing me out all the time thinking about this module. So I ended up getting a job in the January of second year at my local student pub. It was just around the corner from where I was living. I was living in Hulls again, because the way that things had worked out with all the bickerings and stuff that you get en route into second year, which it does happen, people arguing. It's like, imagine when you're going on a school trip and everyone's arguing about who's going to sit next to who on the bus. It's a bit like that, oh, we want you to live with us, no, we want you to live with us. And so eventually I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to live in halls again. They were privately owned halls, and it was all second and third years that were based in them. And it was an ensuite hall, which I was really happy about, with 3 other girls. They were really cool. I hardly ever saw them, they weren't in very often. But we had a really good flat dynamic going on. And as far as living with other people goes, it actually went quite well. So yeah, I went and got this job at the student pub, and literally, I've got to say, that job that's what kept me at university in second year, because I really enjoyed going to work. I worked 2 shifts a week. They were night shifts, and that was at the pub, and then at the student reception in the guild, in the students' union. I think I worked 3 shifts a week, and each shift lasted 4 hours. And then I also did my student mentoring, which also brought the money in. And again, I think that did about 4 hours a week, something like that. So I was working a lot because I wanted to find something that I enjoyed about university. But obviously the knock-on effect of that was the fact that I wasn't putting as much time into the module, which I already knew I was doing bad in. And that's the worst thing you can do, is to run away from something just because you know you're bad at it. I really should have just swapped the module. I should have done. I know I should have done, but I didn't. And so if I didn't, I should have just thought, you know what, I'm really bad at this. I need to spend a lot more time on it. But obviously I just thought, no, I don't want to spend any time on this. I don't want to do it. It'll be fine. Just run away, forget about it. And that just didn't work out so good. So fast forward to the end of second year, on results day, I got a 2-2, which I think it's kind of like the equivalent of, I guess, a B, maybe. If you're at A level, it's kind of the equivalent of a B. If you think that a first is an A star, a 2-1 is an A, and then a 2-2 is a B. And that's kind of a very average sort of grade. That's the sort of grade that, when you're applying for graduate jobs, most graduate employers want people with 2-1, which is an A. And obviously I didn't get that in second year, so I was thinking, oh no, this is really bad. Second year counts for 25% of my overall degree. Even though I'd got a 2-1 back in first year, that doesn't count for anything whatsoever, which is really stupid, because I worked hard in first year, but it really doesn't count for anything. So I went into third year with this kind of negative pressure and looming over me. Over the summer of second year, that was another thing, was that in second year I was applying for the Disney college programme. That took up quite a lot of my time as well, because again, I spent a lot of time dreaming, because as an escape method to escape from the fact that I hated this module. But anyway, over the summer of second year, I went away. I went to work in Disney World in Orlando, had a fantastic time. That's my cat. And then I came back, knew that I had this 2-2 grade, and knew I had to bump it up, and thought I have to get a really high 2-1 if I'm going to be comfortable that I'm going to get a 2-1 overall. So that meant that the whole of third year was just pressure, constantly. I think in January time, I had a bit of like a meltdown, and I just said I wanted to drop out of university. I said I didn't want anything to do with it anymore. I would rather do a load of internships and make it that way, as opposed to finish my degree, which was silly because by that point I only had a few months left. And you know, a 2-2 degree is better than no degree. But yeah, so that was kind of a difficult time, and it was around that same time that I actually booked my travel that I did this summer, because I thought if I'm going to get a 2-2 for my degree overall, I don't want to be around for graduation. And so I booked for myself to be away during graduation, which ended up like being kind of, I guess, a silly thing to do, because I missed graduation and I ended up with a 2-1 overall, which was absolutely brilliant. But all that being said, I would not take travelling away for anything. Like, I had the best time travelling this summer, like I really did. And it was worth missing my graduation for, I can honestly say. But anyway, yeah, so I did my dissertation this year on children's literature and the way that adult and children relationships are presented. The dissertation was 10,000 words, and I think it counted for 20 credits or 40 credits. I don't even remember. The point is, it counted for a lot. And luckily I ended up doing really well in the dissertation, so and I did well in the exams and in the coursework as well. I did well in the coursework because I actually swapped that module that I'd had in the previous year. Even though the receptionist in the office had told me it was going to be really hard to swap over and all this, I actually did it and it was not a problem. The lecturer that kind of helped me along the way was really, really good and reasonable and understood what I wanted. I've got a really itchy eye. And yeah, he was being really reasonable with me about it all, and he said, yeah, like, of course you can swap it, like, I'm really sorry that you didn't know this before. And yeah, so I swapped it, and basically everything went pretty well. I mean, I lived at home in my third year because, again, I only had 4 years of university, and I wasn't going to pay for rent in Birmingham when I could be at home rent-free and just you know, like a train to Birmingham from Stoke-on-Trent, where I'm based. I think it cost me like I think it was like £9 return or something with my rail card, so it wasn't worth it for me to live at university. And also it was good that I had my parents here supporting me, pushing me to study and to do well. And you know, it was a struggle. It was definitely a struggle. And basically what my kind of overall opinion of university was that it was a good experience, but I don't think everyone needs to go to university. That's the first thing. Like, there's a lot of subjects which people take which you would be better off getting experience in that role rather than taking a course at university. And I can't think of any off the top of my head. Let me think. No, it's gone. But there are many courses which you would be better off just going out into the real world, getting some work experience, doing internships. It would cost you a lot less to do that, especially these days now the university fees have gone up. And I would advise everyone to think long and hard about what course they're going to take, because a lot of people that I knew, by the end of the 3 years, like, we thought, you know what, like, we probably shouldn't have taken this course, like, we would have been better doing another course. Like I've known all along that I've always wanted to get into journalism or media, like something within media, within the umbrella of media, or advertising or PR or something like that. And there are universities that offer each of those degrees. But I thought, I'm good at English, like, and, you know, it keeps doors open, I'll just do English. And although that was a kind of a reasonable thing to think, in hindsight, like, I probably would have enjoyed a course in media or marketing or advertising a lot better than the one that I ended up doing, because the one that I ended up doing was not so practical. It was a lot of theory, it was a lot of it was very independent. Like, we didn't have many deadlines, hardly ever. projects. We didn't have many projects. It was more just kind of, this is what you've got to do. You've got to get it done, like learn all this stuff, get it learned by June, and then come and take the exam. And that's pretty much it. It's up to you what you're going to do with your time. And I think I probably would have preferred a bit more of a structure, like a kind of, okay, well, we want you to do this section of this by the end of this week, and then we'll mark it, take a look over it, tell you where you've gone wrong or where you could improve or where you're doing well, and then you can take that advice and move on. So definitely look at the makeup of the courses offered at each university, because each university offers a course in a different way. So you want to look at the module choices as well and really think about that long and hard. My advice to anyone that's thinking of going to university is to apply for university in your final year of college. Get all of your offers in, get your exams completed, get them all finished, and then defer entry for a year. So take a year out. So say you go, you apply to X, Y, and Z university. They want you to get 1A and 2Bs. You go to your A-levels, you get 1A and 2Bs, and then you call up the university and you say, okay, well, I got what I needed to get, but can I transfer to the following year? And the reason I would say that is because it's good to take a year out to think about things. I mean, I'm not suggesting that like all of the 18-year-olds out there should go away and travel, because personally, in my opinion, I mean, I guess it totally depends on what sort of person you are. Maybe you're really mature, maybe you're not so mature. Obviously traveling isn't perfect for everyone, but take a year out. You don't need to travel. Think about what you want to go into. Think, okay, well, why am I taking this course? What's it going to lead me to in an ideal world? So I would have thought, okay, so I'm going to do English. I want it to lead me to journalism. And then you're going to want to go and get work experience in journalism. Go and try it out. Like see if it's something that you like to do, because I one time did work experience at a law firm and I just thought it was so dull. I really wanted to be a solicitor until I went there. And as soon as I went, I thought, this is not for me at all. You might go to university, you might do English, you might get into journalism, get a job, and then realise you hate it and the whole thing was a waste of time. So go try it out, try out a few different things. And then at like in February time, when it's time to like apply for, when it's the time that you would usually apply for university, have another think about it and think, okay, well, is this still the right course for me? Or am I sure that I want to go into journalism now? Do I absolutely love it? In which case, like, take a look over things again and see if there's a journalism course instead of going down the English route. If you think, oh, I hated journalism and I actually want to go into something completely different. I did a marketing internship also, for example, think that. Or I did advertising, went to work experience at an advertising firm and thought that's the thing for me. Then take a look over things again and apply for a few different courses perhaps, see how things go. And the reason why I would say to apply anyway in the final year of college is because you're going to have support from your teachers, and they're going to write your references for you and stuff like that. It's good to have the structure which applying for UCAS during college or sixth form gives you, because if you're applying when you've finished and it's all down to you, then you might not apply as well. Like at my sixth form, they checked over our applications, they amended our personal statements, like wherever we'd made like a spelling error and things like that. They wrote our references for us. It can be a lot harder to go back after a year and say, oh, do you remember me? Like, could you write a reference? It may not be as good, it may not be as passionate as it could have been before. And another reason why I would say to take a year out is because going to university and doing a subject which you thought you wanted to do and then later realising that it doesn't work for you is a lot more of an expensive mistake to make now. When I did it, it was £3,000 a year. Obviously now it's tripled. And you don't want to go to university for the first year like a couple of my friends did and think, oh no, university's not for me, I'm going to drop out. You're going to be £9,000 in debt just for trying something out. Like everything's a gamble. Every kind of new experience is a gamble. You never know if you're going to enjoy it or not. But it's good to give yourself as much opportunity to be sure as you can. So that's why taking that year out is probably a good idea. Apart from that, I can't really think of any more advice. I did really enjoy my university experience until the pressure of the third year, and the nasty module in second year, but I wouldn't take it back. I have a 2-1 degree now. I can apply for most jobs in the country and be kind of confident that I might get through. So, you know, it's up to you. Like I said, university is not for everyone, and I wouldn't tell everyone to go. Not at all. Like, if you've always hated school, like always hated it, you hate learning, you hate exams, like some people really, they cannot stand exams. Other people really hate writing essays. If you know that you're not going to be good at something, don't do it because people say that you should or because you think that you should. There's plenty of people out there that have been successful without the help of a university degree. Like, sure, it might be a bit more difficult because these days I think that people kind of expect you to have a degree. So it can be more difficult to get your foot in the door, but with hard work and effort, like, you know, you can get there, definitely. So it's all about knowing exactly what you want to do, well, knowing exactly where you want to get to and planning the steps. So I think that's pretty much everything I would advise. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. So if you've got any questions, like more further questions about my university experience, or if you want any more advice, like perhaps I could give you, like, then ask me, send me a tweet, or just comment in the description, not in the description box, comment in the comments box below, and I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible, because I'm quite passionate about this and about giving advice on university, because my experience was so standout, I guess. So make sure you get in touch. I promise I'll reply, and otherwise I will speak to you soon. Take care, guys. Bye.